Flood of suggestions this week, and they're all safe for YouTube. Not safe for work, but safe for YouTube. Woohoo! Yeah, it is possible. Let's keep it up. Lovely, lovely, lovely wallpaper. But we're not here for wallpapers. Well, some of you may be. We're here to browse. So we open up the browser, of course, and we go to MFC, and we open up our bookmarks, and we see our first suggester is Luna. And Luna has suggested some figures because what else would you suggest for these streams? We have Sanya V. Litviak from Strike Witches. She is a 1/8 scale figure by Alter, and she came out July 24th of 2010. And at the time, she was priced at 7,800 yen, which, wow, that's for Alter a good price. Yes. Of course, it is an older figure. We scroll down and we see that she is actually around 11,500 yen or so in the aftermarket, which is kind of surprising to me. I thought Strike Witches was much more popular in the aftermarket, or more expensive, I should say. But Sanya is not. So we see 291 people own her, and she has a rating of 9.4 out of 10, rated 77 times, so average. So yeah, let's click on her and look at her and see what she looks like. And we start with a crappy, tiny, blurry picture. So boo to that. Moving on, we have a crappy, tiny, blurry picture that is far, far away, so we can't even tell which one of these is Sanya. Okay, now we have Sanya. So we see she has kind of a neutral expression on her face. She's doesn't have a big happy girl smile and the bright wide open eyes or anything. She's just kind of meh. I'm here. She does have her tail and her kitty cat ears because all the Strike Witches have to have some form of animal tail and ears when they start using their striker units. She does have a big giant rocket launcher. Looks like it's a 9-shot. And then, unlike most Strike Witches, she actually has something covering her crotch. Yes, she is wearing a skirt, and she is wearing pantyhose. And, usually it's just their underwear, but yes, she has coverings. She does have a little pouch on her waist as well, and she's got her striker unit. So we get a little bit more focused shot of her. It's not any bigger or anything. We do see she is practicing proper trigger safeties. Her finger is not on the trigger. The handle is quite detailed. It's got the crosshatch pattern and everything on it. The skirt, it's got the wrinklings and everything. The shading on it honestly looks like plastic, so it doesn't look like a fabric type skirt. This was 8 years ago, so Alter has improved. It's still a very good looking figure, and I'm sure it was still very good. It would still be very good quality today. Her tie is, blowing in the breeze. She is flying around. Yeah. We do see the propellers of her striker unit as well. She has a little tiny support rod, metal support rod, because she is meant to be flying. And we do see under that skirt there is the booty cheeks. And the striker units themselves looks pretty good. It's got the shading in there. Kind of looks metallic, but still plasticky. And yeah, I mean, not into this character really. It's not for me, but I know a lot of people really like to collect all the Strike Witches, so I'm sure they're very interested in this. And she does have a good rating. Here we do see that the propellers are spinning. Just real quick, we'll go over here and click on 103 user pictures, and we'll pick a couple to see how she actually turned out. So there's one, and there's a full body shot, and I think that's good for now. Well, we got to get the butt shot too, because Strike Witches. So yes, not a happy girl smile, just kind of, I'm here. The skirt looks less plasticky. That's a good thing. And the hair looks good and everything. So yeah, all the details looks good. And I think it looks a little bit better than the prototype, actually. There is the full body shot of her. So, yeah. Yeah, she definitely turned out good. So if you like her, binder, buyer, not overpriced or anything. And there's the crotch shot. So yay. So that was Sanya. Luna has also suggested Inaba Yui from Flyable Heart. Never heard of this origin. She is by Good Smile Company and is a 1/8 scale figure. She came out September of 2010. Once again, priced pretty reasonably. Of course, that was 8 years ago at 7,800 yen. Aftermarket wise, 9,000 yen. Not bad. 248 people own her, and she has an average rating out of 6 giggity times 69. Giggity, giggity, giggity. She has an 8.97 rating. Mostly 10s, just a couple low ratings. So we go up and we look, and we click on her and we look, and we see another tiny picture. But I saw this and I'm like, she's a cutie. So I've never, like I said, never heard of the source, never heard of her, but she's a cutie. She is eating a donut, and she is jumping in the air, so she has a little metal support rod stabbed into her left ankle, or left heel, and her base is a couple of hearts, and it's a unique shape. It's not just a disc. There she is in front of some, I'm guessing this is the game artwork, game box that she's from, and we do see she has kind of a raccoonish tail. Looks to be like it's just an ornament. It's not actually her tail. She does have some thigh-high stockings and some nice shoes, and a nice pink outfit with a nice white line along it, and a little white frilly underskirt. And she's got a couple of hoagies. Hair looks pretty good. Looks to be shaded, sculpted good. She is winking, and she is reaching out into the air for you, or another donut. I kind of looked at the pictures ahead of time, and I don't think the donut is removable from her mouth, which is kind of a sad thing. I think she might look cute without it as well, but she also looks very cute with it in her mouth. She does have a little flower hair ornament and a purple bow around her neck. And a nice eye, and she is kind of a happy girl. You can see the little smile behind that donut. You do get the seam line for where the fringe attaches to the head, but every figure has that. The sculpting and shading on the bangs looks pretty good. And the wink is just kind of cute. And we do see kind of gold buttons going down the front of her vest. There is some production prototyping work being done on her. And yeah, that tail is definitely a charm. It is not attached to her. It's attached to a chain which goes around her waist. The back of the hair, a little smooth on top, but you don't need super detailed hair all the time. All the down low, it is sculpted nicely, so you get all the little strands, and it does feel nice and layered as well. And there's a close shot of her chest. I think it might. Personally, I think it would look a little bit better if instead of just being solid diamonds, if they had cut out the little pieces under the cross or maybe painted them black or something. That's just a little nitpick that I think might look a little better. Could be completely wrong, too. There's a good shot at the tail and actually a couple feathers as well, so she's got another charm attached to that chain around her waist. But yeah, like I said, I saw this and I'm like, hey, that's cutie. I've never, to my knowledge, I've never seen her for sale anywhere, but I don't go to all of the pre-owned places all the time. Her hand, I mean, look at the details on her fingers. You can see all the little folds and stuff where the knuckles are. So yeah, she's a cutie. I like her. Don't know if I'll look for her or anything. Price-wise, it doesn't seem horrible or anything. 9,000 yen for a 1A scale, yeah, I'd say that's probably reasonable with today's prices. So yeah. Mika and Rika. So we shall move on to origami. And there we go, that's a little bit better. things get screwed up sometimes. So Origami has suggested, is there a name? Alucard from Castlevania Symphony of the Night. This is a PVC figure by First Four Figures. I'm not. Yeah, that's the price. $743.94 for this figure. Yeah. First Four Figures are usually very expensive. They're also usually pretty damn detailed as well. Looks like it is... Trying to figure out... I don't go to Hobby Search much. So it looks like maybe he went up for order March 29th. So I don't know what the estimated release date would be for him. But very, very expensive. Release date January to March of 2019. So you got a year-long wait for him. Don't know if First Four Figures delays a lot or not. And this item cannot be canceled. So first things first, obviously male figure, not for me. But we shall look at him anyways. Also very expensive, not for me. So we look and we see he's got hair. He's got a very angular face. I guess he's kind of a pretty boy. The outfit is very, very, very detailed. You can see all the not only the wrinklings in his sleeves and his crotch area and everything, but it's like leather texture as well. So it's not just smooth around the wrinkles, it is actually textured. He is wearing a cape and billowy and wrinkly and everything. Gloves are wrinkly. He's got a rapier type sword. And even his vest and the buckles on the vest are very, very detailed. Base looks good. The boots are nice and shiny. He is a proper gentleman and takes care of his shoes. Yeah. So very, like I said, very, very, very detailed. There's not much more I can say about this. He does have big toes, long feet, long shoes. Yes. But now the question is this worth $750? To some people, sure. To me, no. Maybe $200 or $250 in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. And as I said, I'm not into this character. I'm not going to buy this one. Let's see. So the back of his hair, it's got all the strands sculpted. It is just one blob of plastic, but you can see all the strands sculpted, and it does have some shading in there. So yeah. It doesn't look bad or anything. It looks quite good. Very detailed. All the paintwork is nice and clean. The sculpting is amazing. It's just not something that I'm into, and I do feel it is way, way, way overpriced. Yeah, definitely a pretty boy face. So you got the small angular eyes, you got the sharp chin, you got the lips. I think he's a vampire too, so that's kind of why the skin is pale and ashen colored. It's not a healthy peach color. And he has a lot of pictures. But yeah, I mean, look at his gauntlet and all the leather texture and everything. So, yay. Just curious, let's see. 53 centimeters tall, so he is quite tall as well. So that might help justify the rise in the price. Let's see. Trying to think in terms of inches. So that's like probably around 2 feet tall, 18 inches, somewhere around there. So yeah, probably around like a 1/4 to maybe even a 1/3 scale. So he is very big, he is very detailed, he is very expensive. Okay, what's going on here? Maybe if I do that, it'll stop messing up the orientations. So we shall move on to Nanda Koriwa. And Nanda Koriwa has suggested Kuro from Fate Collide Prisma Ilya 3-Ray. This is by Easy8. She is in her Priya Racing version. 1/8 scale figure, supposed to come out in November of 2018. Price at 11,852 yen. And this one is designed to match the Ilya version, which we'll probably see in one of these pictures. So she is wearing her, a racing girl outfit. So she's got the leather boots on, thigh highs, very nice. She has a very tiny string bikini top, and she is wearing a little crop top leather jacket. She is holding a Finnish flag, the checkered flag, and it wouldn't be Kuro without a very detailed belly, nice belly button. She does have a little temporary tattoo as well, a big giant heart buckle on her belt, and black and red color scheme with the pink hair, nice eyes. Definitely easy to tell it is Kuro. And she is also sitting on two big giant drag racing tires, basically. So we see Priya 3. She looks kind of like Groovy on her cup. And yeah, very detailed hair. Paintwork looks nice and clean. The leather effect is in full effect, nice and shiny. And she has a big giant happy girl smile on her face. No teeth, but looks to be a tongue in there at least. And nice nose. She's blushing a little bit. Gotten a little bit of sun. And she is quite tan as well. And she is pointing. And kind of looks like the wind is blowing on her, so maybe a race car has just drove by because her hair is flying in the breeze, along with her jacket. I do not see her little curse mark around her belly button, or whatever it is, at least from the shows. I forget if that got removed or not in the later seasons. And there she is with Ilya. So they definitely are about the same size, and they go together because they are designed to go together. And it's kind of nice that Kuro is sitting on the tires because it raises her up and it makes them easier to display. So you don't have to worry as much about like buying risers or anything. Milo, say hi. But yeah, very detailed, looks good. And if you're a fan of Prisma Ilya or Kuro, I think this would be one that you won't have any issues buying. I know some of the versions of these characters are very, very lewd, and people do have the moral question of should I buy a lewd lolly? This is not a lewd lolly. It is a very nice looking one. So yeah, if you like her, find her, buy her. How much was she again? 11,852 yen. Yeah, not a bad price or anything. So yeah, looks good. And as I said, if you like her, buy her. So now we shall move on to Gordon. Yes, open up 23 tabs. So there's 23 tabs, but only 2 figures have been suggested by Gordon. Gordon was nice enough he likes the Moyo pictures, but since Moyo is not safe for YouTube, he's kind enough to actually give direct links to the pictures. So the first figure is a gray prototype, unfortunately, but it is Kato Megumi from Saikano. This is by Alter and Aniplex. Obviously Misaki Kurihito. She is going to be a 1/7 scale figure. And if we just go over here real quick, they are going to be making the whole set of them in their lingerie. And can't wait for Utaha. Utaha, best girl. Megumi, probably second best girl, or third best girl after the cousin, I don't know. And then Eriri, worst girl. But most likely we'll be completing this set as well. But yes, Megumi. We click and we look and we see there is only the one official picture right now. but I mean, it's Alter. Looking at her, very, very detailed sculpt already. She is going to be crazy expensive. And the paint, I'm sure it's going to be perfect. But some people have complained and said that she has Utaha's chest because she does have big boobs in this figure. But, Megami does have a decent sized Drac as well. So I don't see an issue with this. But she's got a nice floral headband. She's got a nice pearl necklace. Not that type of pearl necklace. And she's got a nice camisole and everything. And don't expect me to say names of underwear, fabric, garments correctly. But she is, sitting down on the ground. And, I mean, it just looks good. But like I said, only the one picture. So we close and we see, hey, it's the one picture again, but with a brighter white background. We do see the cleavage is nicely sculpted, and it does not appear to be welded together yet. We'll see after she gets painted. There she is from the side slightly. We do see a couple bows on the little gown part of it. She does have a ring and middle fingers welded together. One of those things that you always notice once you know about it. She has a very detailed belly button. It actually looks realistic. It's not just basically a little hole, but yeah, looks good. Back for the front shot, little side shot from the other side. So once again, you see all the little ribbons and bows. You got the little frilly, ruffly armband to hide the seam line, and it doesn't look out of place in this outfit. It looks good on her. Usually it's just that stupid band, and that just looks horrible. But yeah, looks good. Hair is sculpted, the bangs are sculpted in such a way that you even get little individual tiny strands. And she's wearing a little choker necklace with a little floral ornament on it as well. And we do see the bottoms have a little tiny bow on them. And, it's a Misaki Kurihito type face, so it is obviously Megumi. And there is a shot of her midsection. So yeah. And there's the boobs. Okay, from this shot, they do appear to be welded. But it's hidden enough that from a distance and slightly angled shot, it doesn't look like it. So yeah, Megumi. Even though Utaha Best Girl, Megumin is a nice looking one. So the second one that Gordon has suggested is Ashikaga Chachamaru from Soko Aki Muramasa. This is by Alter again. She is a 1/7 scale figure. She is supposed to come out in December of 2018 and is priced at 12,800 yen. And before we even look at the pictures, I will say this. I am very seriously considering buying this one. Does feel maybe a little expensive, but it is a 1/7 scale figure and it is Alter. The only thing I don't kind of holding me back really is one, I don't feel like waiting until next September to get her because it's Alter, so she's going to have lots and lots of delays. And I made a mistake. I went to AmiAmi and I looked at all my pre-orders and I did actually total them up, and the total hurts. It is quite high. So, but Chachamaru looks pretty damn good. So, a lot of people can mistake her for Shinobu from Bakemonogatari because they are both blondes. They both have the pointy ears, and they do look very similar, but they are not the same character. So Chachamaru, like I said, pointy ears. She is blonde, nice long blonde hair. And this figure has an amazing, amazing back. All the muscles and the bones and the butt dimples and everything is just so perfectly done. She is wearing a blue and white striped bra, which is unbuckled in the back. And she is also wearing a blue and white striped shimapan, which is kind of a thong. She has a nice squeezable booty, it looks like. Some very, very tight hot pants, which are being pulled down a bit. You can see how tight it is by all the wrinkles and stretch marks, and just how tightly it clings to all of her little curves. She's got some nice thighs, nice thick thighs. The stockings are very, very tight on her, so you can see they are digging into her thighs. She has very detailed backs of the knees, so this tendon definitely stands out a bit. Maybe a bit too much, but it is a very, very nice detail. She's got the kind of shiny stockings, and she is wearing some sandals as well. And she's got a little devilish grin on her face. I believe she does have 2 moe fangs even, and some nice eyes as well. I'm not the biggest fan of the looking over the shoulder look. Like, you're supposed to display her like this, so you're looking at her back, and she's looking over her shoulder at you. It's not bad, but it's just never been my favorite option. You can kind of turn her a little bit, and she still looks good. So she's kind of looking off to the side now, but from this angle, you do get the butt and the boobs. She has a modest-sized chest, so not super oversized, but not flat chest either. It is a very, very nice-sized chest, nice-looking chest. And yes, definitely a little devilish grin on her face. And I do like how her little, what are they called? Side locks or whatever kind of wrap around into her face. Sideburns, yes. But yes, I mean, look at that back. Look at that spine line. Look at the muscles around the butt dimples and everything. She is a very toned girl. Look at those sharp shoulder blades just poking through her skin. Looks great. And yes, the underwear as well. Slightly different angle, seeing her face. So yes, there is the little tiny moe fang right there. A little bit different lighting, so you can see the back a little bit better. Very, very nice. We do see on this arm she has a little rope tied around her wrist, and she is wearing some gloves. Looks like she also has a belt that she is holding in her hand. And if we move enough, we do see that the shorts are unbuttoned and unzipped in the front. So you get the full view of the full frontal view of her panties. There is a little blue bow on them, along with a little blue bow on the middle part of her bra between the cups. And yeah, nice size boobs. It's good separation. You do see the little folds in the fat on her hip and waist, and a nice little belly button. And yeah, just looks great. Looks good. Seriously considering this figure. Yep, looks good. And of course, if you're not satisfied with MFC pictures, we have Moyo pictures of her being displayed at a convention. So a little bit different lighting. Mouth looks good, eyes look good, paint looks good, ears look good. Hair, the hair is kind of smooth and flat, not a whole lot of strands, but this is one of those cases where you don't need all that extra. It looks very good. It's blowing in the breeze. Kind of fits with her twirling around a little bit. And look at the booty. And look at the little folds in her flesh. Yeah, looks good. Seriously considering her. Okay, I was wrong. Looks like she does only have the 1 moe fang. But she also has a deep mouth. It's not just flat with, a little pink circle painted into it. So, like I said, it is Alter, so expect lots and lots of delays, unfortunately. So from this angle, it does almost give the hint that maybe the bra is removable. I'm 99% going to guarantee it's not, but that little gap right there does give that little indication. But it does look like it's like attached to her flesh there, so don't get your hopes up. And yes, definitely a thong. So yay, that was Chachamaru. So now we shall move on to Astoria Mercury. So Astoria Mercury has suggested a figure that I just closed by accident. So Astoria Mercury has suggested All-Rounder Elf from After School Arena for Shot. She is a 1/7 scale figure. She is by Damn Toys and is supposed to come out in October of 2018. She is priced at 14,580 yen. So this figure, don't look for her on MSC because she's not allowed, because this is not a Japanese company and this is not a Japanese original item series, whatever. She doesn't have a Japanese origin. So we'll scroll down and we'll click here and we'll view all pictures. I do want to see real quick, 1/7 scale. She looks to be a small 1/7. So we'll click and we'll view all pictures. And we see, let's see, can I do this without messing things up now? We'll zoom in a bit. So she has very, very nice purple hair. It does have translucentness going on in it. She does have a very nice belly button and a belly area, nice wide hips. She has nice boobs as well. They're not super oversized. They are big boobs. She has nice cleavage. Her bra is peeking through. She has a very, very low-cut shirt, which is very tight on her, as indicated by the little gap between the buttons. She's got some good purple eyes. She doesn't have a happy girl smile. She kind of has a more serious expression on her face. She's probably listening to her teammates in her earpiece. Nice little headband. And she has an assault rifle, which has purple paint on it. And she has some extra ammo, little curly Q cord. And she has some nice stockings on as well. And the most inappropriate footwear for battle possible. She has some high heels on. She's got a very detailed base, so you got a brick rubble building and some sandbags that have taken some shots. There's an ammo clip or ammo magazine, couple extra magazines. She's got a couple bullet casings on the ground, and it's kind of like a rubbled street base as well in a hexagon pattern. Scrolling down a bit, we see her from a slightly different angle. So she is wearing a mini skirt with a belt holding her ammo. She's got a smoke grenade, and no important questions are answered in promotional pictures. But nice stockings. There is some shading. You can see her shin bone through her. It's a prominent shin bone, I should say. She is wearing a bit of a scarf, it looks like. Yeah, and nice boobs. Maybe a little bit big for her frame, but they do kind of match with her wide hips. Oh, that's a little megaphone on her waist. Okay. The colorings on this figure looks very good. All the colors go together. It's a nice kind of pastel feel with the lavender hair, the peach of her bra. Yeah. She looks good. I do believe this is the first female Bishoujo type figure Damn Toys has made. I looked at their other ones and it's basically all military type figures, all males and everything. We do see how fit she is, so you get the hip is very prominent and she is a very, very thin-waisted girl. Pretty detailed belly button and little frills on her bra. So yeah, overall, she looks very interesting and unique and nice. I'm not going to get this figure, but she is one that I would kind of considered. I do feel maybe a little on the expensive side and don't know how she's going to actually turn out, but from the promo pictures, she looks pretty good. Not really the biggest fan of her face. It's a good face and everything, just I'm not my style. And we do see the all-important strap gap. So the little straps are not carved out of her body. That's a nice touch, and I much prefer when they do that. And as we see down here, very tight shirt showing off her belly a little bit. The hand looks pretty detailed as well. You got all the lines and everything. Fingers look good. And she has a name tag, and her name is Elf. And pretty detailed gun as well. So yeah, if you like her, I would not wait around because she is kind of provisional pre-order. And when she went up the first day, she sold out in like a couple hours. Ami has since put her back up for order, but don't know how long that's going to last. So if you like her and you're willing to pay that price for her, don't wait. Order her as soon as you can. So yay. Moving on, this time we have Chakro. And Chakro has suggested Lala. It is Lala Satalin Deviluk from To Deliver Darkness. This one is by QuestQ. 1/7 scale figure. She's supposed to come out in September of 2018, priced at 15,800 yen. 1/7 scale. Does feel a little expensive, but QuestQ, at least their latest stuff, has been very, very, very good quality, and I'm happy with them. And it is Lala, who is one of the best girls, much better than Momo. I'd say it's between Lala and Kodagawa Yui for me, as which one's the best girl. But anyways, Lala, I do feel they have given her much larger boobs than she should have. So yes, she has very, very large bulbous boobs that gravity is definitely being applied to them. She is in the classic Marilyn Monroe dress and pose with the standing over a grate and it's blowing the dress up. She does have her Devilukian tail with a nice little gradient to the red on the spade part of it. Her face does feel a little bit off to me. I can't place exactly why, but it just feels off. Could be the smile. It is a big happy girl with a bright smile, but just something about it not quite right to me. She does have very, very nicely detailed hair. It's sculpted very well, and it does have, looks like some highlights in it. And they have given her the little armbands, which are ribbons, and has the little bow on them. And she is kind of bending over, leaning forward. She has some nice white high heel shoes on. And nice green eyes. We do see how detailed the dress is, so there is all this ruffling and wrinkling and everything. Looks very, very good and very detailed. Still, the boobs, as I said, little bit, it's blasphemy, but a little bit too big. I do like that she has no poofy shoulders. It is a very attractive dress, I'll give her that. And she has some boring underwear, yes. But it is very detailed boring underwear. Nice white, nothing very fancy about it. You got the little seam line there. Got hints of booty lines and everything. And nice legs. So yeah, Lala, definitely one of the best girls. I do love her hair. I do think they nailed the hair perfectly. But not a figure for me, unfortunately, for some people. But she looks quite nice. And as I said, QuestQ has definitely impressed me with their latest stuff. Early QuestQ was kind of questionable, but the new QuestQ stuff is good. Are her boobs welded together? They might be. But with them being squeezed together like that, it's not really an issue. So yeah, Lala. If you like Lala, buy Lala. Or if you just like To Deliver, or if you like Marilyn Monroe, buy Lala. So yeah, looks good. Up to you if you want to buy her or not. As I said, does feel maybe a little expensive. Let's see if you can get like a store discount at AmiAmi. Haven't really seen, like, their discounts haven't been very good lately. 14,500. So yeah, maybe a little bit of a discount. 14,500. Like $13 or so. Still pretty expensive. So now we shall move on to Buy LS Gaming. And Buy LS Gaming has suggested 2 figures. The first one being a prize figure. So this is Congo from Kantai Collection. She is manufactured by Banpresto. 1/8 scale figure. She came out August 26th of 2017. And the ticket for the Ichiban Kuji lottery that you could win her in was 769 yen. So yes, she is an Ichiban Kuji, which typically tends to be a much higher quality prize figure than the prize figures you would buy or win from the claw games. We do see in the aftermarket, she's about $50, which isn't a horrible price. I mean, it's up to you if you have to think about the quality and everything. But as I said, Ichiban Kuji tends to be decent enough. Crappy small picture, but all the details on her looks very well done. So she has the well shaded hair, and it looks like it does have translucent tips. The little frill around the bottom of her apron is very detailed and lots of like smooth stitching. I kind of like how they made the apron kind of like the Japanese kimono type outfit that she typically wears. She is wearing a sweater as well, and some thigh highs and some looks to be imitation Crocs. And she has a ladle in her hand, and her ahoge is in the shape of a heart. And now we have a smaller picture even. So being prize figure, there's only the 2 pictures. And we look over here, and there is not a lot of pictures of her. 13 people own her, and there is no rating on her yet. So we'll click and we'll look, and since there's only 4, we'll click on them all. So Congo. So looking at this one, the hair could have been maybe a little bit better done, but it's not horrible or anything. As I said, it does have translucent tips. It is a darker shade of brown and not as shaded as the prototype picture promotional thing would lead you to believe. But looking at the skirt and all the stitching and everything around there, I don't see any paint lines out of place on this. So I think she turned out very well. Got some details in the apron, some in the bow and everything, and wrinkling in the sweater. Face is, I mean, it's a prize figure. It's a little off, but not horrible. And nice knees, nice high stockings, and imitation Crocs. And she has a unique base. So you got the Kantai Collection name, but then it's not ships. It is little cooking utensils. So yay. There she is. I guess these are the other items in the lottery. A couple different ship girls. We got Shigure, and I don't know who this one is, but they're all little chefs in the kitchen, and they all got very similar bases. Congo's the only one wearing Crocs, but they're all pretty cute. As I said, it looks like she turned out quite nicely. Don't get to see her from the back, though, I don't think. And it does not look like she has teeth in her mouth either. So yeah, that's Congo. Doesn't look like I don't think the price is outrageous for her. A 1/8 scale for $50 or so, even if it is technically a prize figure. I paid much more for my Bikini Haruna. So the next one that by Alice Gaming has suggested is Shimikaze and Renzo Hochan from Kantai Collection again. This one is by QuestQ. It's her Chua version, her half damage version. She is a 1/8 scale figure, kind of a small 1/8 scale. She came out October 21st of 2014, and it was priced at 12,800 yen. We do see in the aftermarket, she must not have been as popular because she has gone down quite a bit in the aftermarket. 135 people own her. She's got an average rating of 8.9, mostly 9s. So, decent enough. Let's look at her pictures. So, being the Chua version, she has taken some damage, so her thong string has been snapped and it is flying in the breeze. Her already short shirt has been very just torn asunder and is almost exposing her nipples. It is exposing lots of underboob. All the Renzo Ho-chans have taken some damage. All their barrels are bent. The big one has some plasters on it. And they just have the painful expression on their face. And Shimikaze's face, it's probably one of the worst faces of her I've seen. Very pudgy, poofy cheeks. And yeah, just doesn't do it for me. We do see a belly button and nice creamy flesh tones on her. Her stockings also have taken some damage, so they're ripped to shreds. And her skirt has come unbuttoned. Her hair looks good. Her little ribbon ears are damaged to hell as well. But yes, showing off lots of underboob. Quality-wise, I'm sure it's going to be good quality, but just the overall look of it doesn't do it for me, so not a Shimikaze for me. We do see this Renzo Ho-chan is attached by a clear plastic rod stabbed into the back of Shimikaze's head. There's the gray prototype of her. And her pose is kind of strange to me. I'm not sure I like how the hands are lifted up to her elbows like that. So yeah, not a Shimikaze for me. But not a horrible one, but not the best face I've seen. So yeah, we do see a hint of a butt crack through the skirt and the thong and the ship parts. But paint-wise, everything looks nice and clean as well. Her stockings are, the red on them is more of a metallic red, which you don't normally see on Shimikaze. And yes, she is pretty flat. So enough of the official pictures. How did she actually turn out? So we'll click on that one. And we'll click on that one. And we'll click on that one. So I don't believe she's cast offable, but she might be. So she has a clear disc base, which has a kind of a atlas map pattern on the center. We do see Kantai Collection around the base. We see Renzo Ho-chan. Paint-wise, don't see any bleeding or anything. Of course, not the best picture. Sculpt looks good. Looks pretty much exactly like the prototype. The stockings, the red is more of the typical red you would see on Shimikaze, so it's not kind of that metallic red. The stockings do seem quite thick around her thigh. But that's only if you're zoomed in 300% or whatever. Here's one with some snowflake effects. 1 second. Had to cough for a second there. But yes. We do see she is showing off a lot of flesh, as is evident right here. So with her bikini strap being torn asunder. This leg is pretty sure it's a separate piece, so that's why they left that strap in place. But yeah, all the paint looks pretty good and all the details look pretty good. And you might be able to force the skirt off and have her show even more flesh. Not that Shimikaze has been known to hide her flesh. So yeah, if you like her, you can get her. As I said, this one's not my favorite Shimikaze, but it's not a horrible one either. And the quality does look like she turned out very, very well. So yay. Now we shall move on to Senbei 01. And Senbei has suggested Combat-san, Hoi Hoi-san, and Pest X-san from Ichigenki Sachu Hoi Hoi-san Legacy. There's an English name of this, like one-shot bugs or whatever. I forget what it is, but oh well. So they are by Kotobukiya. They are 1/1 scale figures, so they are very tiny girls. This is only 5.27, 5 1/4 inches tall, or 13.5 centimeters. So yeah, being 1/1s, they are bug-sized. They came out January 18th of 2012 and was priced at 12,000 yen. So at Solaris, they are quite cheap, but at Nomiya, they are quite more expensive. If you would like to see what they look like in person, you can check out Lollipop Gallery's video on them. So let's see, 108 people own them, and 9.44 rating. So rated pretty well. Mostly 10s. So yeah, they're not really my style of figures. They are kind of chibi. They are kind of, the deformed look to them. They have very big toes, only 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4 toes. And 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers. But they are little bugs. So they have a little friend, a stuffed rabbit type thing. They are sitting on a tiny couch with a little tiny stool. She looks kind of sleepy. She is a nice happy girl and is smiling and hugging the other one, who is, being embraced with her face pressed against the other one. She has to keep one eye closed, and she is also a happy girl. Paintwork, everything looks nice and clean in these prototypes. There is some shading in the hair. The hair is sculpted quite nicely as well. There's a couple bows in their hair. There is the original artwork that they are based off of. And we see a bunch of weapons around them. The weapons do not appear to have made it into the figure. So they do have, or at least she has an open mouth. So it's not just a little painted line. Yeah, quality looks pretty good. As I said, not a figure for me, but looks good for a Kotobukiya figure. We do see some wrinkles in the couch, so they are giving the sense of a little bit of weight for these girls. Yeah. There they are in a box and just hugging each other. She looks to have some pointy ears. The couch is pretty detailed. You see the little sculpting in the woodwork. And she is just lazy. She is sleepy. She is wearing a little cami, and she is wearing underwear. She does not want to get dressed. She wants to go back to bed. They do have teeth in their mouth as well. That's a nice little touch you don't normally see on these little figures. Her mouth is closed because she is sleepy. Looks like she does have fingernails. They have very chubby hands and feet. So, yay. Do we see them from the back? Well, there's Hoi Hoi Chan. Don't know why they included this picture. It looks like the bow is removable. It looks like an headphone jack kind of to attach it to her head. Back of the hair, pretty smooth, but you do get this strand sculpted at the ends. Nice woodwork, plastic woodwork on the stool. And the back of the couch looks pretty good too. It's got a little serial number on it. So yeah, overall, like I said, quality looks good. Not a figure for me. They are happy little girls and sleepy. Let's see. User pictures. Because that's where the rubber meets the road. Or whatever you want to say. And we'll hurry up and close that because there was some stuff shown. But yes. So we do see paintwork and everything in the final product looks nice and clean. So this looks to be one of Kotobukiya's better figures. So yeah, looks good. Sculpt is good. Paint is good. And Sleepy Girl is sleepy. So yeah, it definitely looks like they turned out pretty nicely. So yeah, if you like them, you might be able to find them around and buy them. And you have to look because, as we saw, the prices were very different in different places. So the next one that was suggested is Kohai-chan from Getsuyobo no Tawaba. We have talked about her in the past. This is by Good Smile Company. 1/7 scale figure. She is supposed to come out in December of 2018, priced at 10,185 yen. So we click and we look and we see she is a happy drunk. Yes, she is a drunk girl. She is giggling. She is happy. She has blush marks. She has a mole. She is smiling. She has a big giant rack and she has spilled some wine in her cleavage. And she is, kicking her shoes off. One is just hanging off of her toes. She has some nice pantyhose on, as indicated by the line on her toes. And she has some wine, a wine glass, which is swirling around. She is definitely presenting her breasts to you. And yeah, she's at a restaurant. And there is a gray prototype with some blue paint lines for her eyes and the wine and everything. And if you don't like the happy drunk face, you've got the kind of surprised drunk face. So honestly, I like the happy drunk face a little bit better than this one. She is kind of looking down a bit, like kind of surprised. You kind of get a bit of a view of her crotch, but her legs are positioned in such a way that it is hidden enough. We do see she has some weight to her, as indicated by the cushion on the bench. And the wine has a label. And we do see that the shirt is quite tight, so it is being stretched, and you've got some gaps around between the buttons. And we do see that the shirt is a little bit translucent, and she has a dark colored bra on. And now she's drunk. She is definitely she's making a pass at the waiter now, it looks like. This one, she's looking like, oh, I just spilled something. I just spilled something. You want to look it up? So yeah, quite detailed. Looks good. Look at the details behind the knee there. You got the little ankle bones. And she has the big giant boobs. And we do see, yes, the bra is black, as indicated by the strap. And the little peek through the gap. So yeah, it's not a figure for me. But it's not a horrible looking figure. It's Good Smile Company, so quality's going to be up there. Doubt it'll come out when it's supposed to come out, but you never know. And it is kind of unique that they have the wine spilled between her cleavage. Don't see that very often. The wine in her cleavage does look a little bit like jelly to me instead of wine, but it is what it is. So yeah, if you like her, or you like the show that she's from, you can get her. So yay. So now we shall move on to Mindy. And Mindy has suggested Minamoto no Raiko from Fate Grand Order. This one is by Belle Fine. She is a berserker. 1/7 scale figure. She's supposed to come out in July of 2018, priced at 16,800 yen. So this is, as I said, by Belle Fine. So it is overpriced. And do not expect this to be what you end up with. So, to start with, I do not like this figure. I do not like her design. That's just me. Let's look at the figure objectively. So, she has big, giant boobs. She has a tiny head, which is kind of squished together. It is a very tall head. I don't like the poofy sleeves that she has. It just looks a little bit strange to me. The gauntlets look pretty good, at least. She does have a very long ponytail, which is a plus. The bottom of the sheath of her sword has a tiger tail wrapped around it. And she has a couple balls hanging off of a rope off the hilt of the sword. And she has a long flowy part of her dress in the back. She does have a skin-tight purple bodysuit on as well. Part of her outfit is removable. We'll see in the future. As we said, we'll see in the future. So yes, the little flap on the front is removable, and we do see that the bodysuit is skin-tight, and it is going into her cleavage, and she is maybe a little bit aroused, so she has some pointy nipples under there. And as I said, not the biggest fan of the head. It's very tall and very narrow. And she's got a very pointy chin, big, oversized giant boobs, and a vacuum-sealed belly button. We do see some muscles peeking through that skin-tight bodysuit. The belt looks very detailed, and the ropes look very rope-like. So good job there. As I said, don't expect this level of quality in the final product. Belle Fine, a lot of people have described their figures as being almost prize figure quality, but very expensive. So she does have a bow as well, which is once again very detailed, and she has some arrows in a quiver. That's the word I was looking for, quiver. So the arrows look quite detailed as well. It's kind of maybe a compound type bow, so you got a couple extra ropes besides the drawstring. So that is very tall. So yeah, at least in the prototype pictures, the quality does look very good. But as I said, I wouldn't trust them. So maybe if you do like this one, maybe hold off just a little bit until the aftermarket to see how she actually turned out before you make your final decision. But it's up to you. You don't have to take my word for it because I don't own any Belle Fine figures. I'm just going by what I've seen people post about them. So yeah. But yeah, at least from the like I said, from the prototypes, she looks very good, or quality wise. Not a design I care for myself. But yeah. So I'll leave the decision up to you. I do like her sandals as well. Not very battle appropriate gear, but yeah, still a nice little touch to see her toes. And then Mindy has also suggested Super Sonico, one of the thousands of Sonicos in the world. Yeah, so she is by Karaani and distributed by Karaani, made by Toys Works. This is the Strawberry Choco Patissier version of her. She is a 1/6 scale figure. She came out August 29th of 2017, and it was priced at 13,889 yen. Aftermarket, she has gone up in price. 32 people own her, and she's got an average rating of 9.25. So we'll click and we'll look. And I'm pretty sure Mindy is one of those people that own her. I'm sorry, Mindy. I don't care for this figure. I don't think the tan looks good on her. It kind of messes, it does not go well with the pink hair and everything. Just my personal opinion, but I'm sure if you like her, you like her. So Sonico obviously is Sonico, so she's got the big, giant boobs. She does have a little bit of meat on her bones as well, so she's got the white hips, she's got the thick thighs, but she is not a fat girl either. She has a toned belly. She's got nice arms. She has a big giant cap on her head, but she is still wearing her Super Sonico headphones. And she has a couple cupcakes and a base. Yeah, the color scheme just really doesn't do it for me. So there's a little bit more of a close-up of her facial area and the bust and belly and everything. But she has a fork that has stabbed some cake that she's about to eat, so she likes her sweets for sure. But yeah, as I said, the tan just doesn't do it for me. But it's obviously Super Sonico. You can look at it and you see that right away. And you can see, yes, she is a patissier. She has a very, very short, I'm guessing that's a skirt, could be a shorts, but it has a little bit of an apron. And these are the only pictures, official pictures of her. So we'll go over here and we'll click on the user pictures. And we shall see, yep, Mindy Sue owns her and has posted pictures. We'll look at those real quick. So let's see, quality-wise. Paint lines look nice and clean. I don't see any bleeding outside of the edges. And fork looks good. The little cake that she stabbed it into does appear to be at a different angle than in the prototype. We do see a little bit of pert nipples under there. Hand looks good. The belly looks very, very nice. Nicely toned and sculpted and everything. Do you see the hip bones peeking through a little bit? We do see a little bit of... They didn't sand this one corner of the headphone down very well, but I mean, it's such a tiny detail, you're not really going to notice it. You're going to be blinded by the big things on Sonico. I do kind of like the little gap around the hip bones there. That's a nice little touch. So yeah, looks like she turned out good enough. It looks like she turned out pretty good. So if you like her, you like her, and I think she would be a good investment if you're a Sonico fan. And if you don't like the tan version of her, like me, yeah, so they are actually shorts. They're not a skirt. But if you don't like the tan version, I did see there is a non-tan version. So it is more white and blue themed instead of pink and brown. I do like the coloring on this one better, but it does feel very monochrome, and like the shirt and the apron and everything blends into her skin maybe a little too much. But to me, I think I do prefer this version just a little bit better. But if you like the tan version, you like the tan version. So yeah, once again, I leave it up to you to make your final decisions. So now we shall move on to Chris Kojak. And Chris Kojak has suggested Alyssa Hart from Dungeon Travelers 2, Oritsu Toshokan no Mono no Fuin. This is by Alter and is a 1A scale figure. She came out February 12th of 2015, priced at 10,800 yen. We do see she has gone almost doubled in the aftermarket. 132 people own her, rated average 9.35. So if you look at this Alyssa Hart and you notice that you have this kind of feeling that maybe something's familiar about her, maybe it's that base. Well, yes, she is part of a set with Mephmera. Yes. I do own the Mephmera. I do not own Alyssa. So we'll click and we'll look at her. So she has a pink and creamish colored checkerboard base. She is definitely in a battle pose, so she's about to strike with her sword. She has some very, very detailed hair with strands flying all over the place, and it's just, I love when the strands fly all over the place. The shading looks very good. The sculpting looks very good. It is an Alter figure, so you know Alter's reputation. She's got very nice blue eyes. Her mouth is open in an O shape, so she's kind of shouting. She's not smiling. Why would you smile when you're in battle? She's got some shoulder armor and some elbow armor and some hand armor. She's got some armored boots. She has some white pantyhose on, a nice plaid skirt on, and looks very, very, she looks good. There she is from the side a little bit, so you do see she is looking forward. I do like the braids wrapped around kind of bun-wise on her head with the strands coming out of the center. She does have a flower hair ornament as well. She is kind of leaning awkwardly because, I mean, battle pose, she is, running forward as fast as she can. But it does result in kind of an awkward lean. We do see extra strand of hair glued on. Do we see her from the back? Not yet, but we do see her from the side. So she has a very, very long sword. Her gauntlets are very detailed. And once again, we do see another extra strand of hair glued on. I wish somehow we could find a way to, when they glue these extra strands on, to hide the seam a little bit better. I mean, I understand why they do it, and it adds a lot to the, volume of the hair and everything. It just never looks the greatest where it actually attaches to the head. So we do see her from the back a bit. So yes, hair flying all over the place. She's got some nice toned legs and a nice shiny sword. So it doesn't look like we're going to get a picture of her with Mephmera in the official pictures. So we go over to trusted users once again, just so we can compare and contrast the two of them. So yes. Okay, I clicked on that one because I thought it was going to be good, but then her face is all blurry. So we'll try this one instead. So her face is still kind of blurry. They focus more on the mid sections of these two. But yes, bases are quite similar. Mephmera has purple. Alyssa has pink. Mephmera does appear to be taller, but that could just be because Alyssa is leaning forward a little bit more. Or maybe she is a shorter girl. But they go together very well, like they are meant to. And quality-wise, both of them are amazing. So if you like Alyssa, you can buy her. If you like Mephmera, you can buy her. Just expect to pay through your nose for them. So yeah, not a bad looking figure, but I haven't invested the money or time to find her yet. Don't know if I will or not. Moving on, we have I thought so. So Chris Kojak did suggest another one. I don't know why it didn't show up to be covered. So Chris has also suggested Okitasawa from Tari Tari. This is by Fat Company, a 1/8 scale figure. She was released January 28th of 2015 and was priced at 7,400 yen. So Tari Tari was one of those slice of life animes, kind of forgettable, but I do remember I did enjoy it. 9,888 yen and 15,135 yen. So she's another one that the prices vary widely. Could just be because one is pre-owned and has damage or whatever. Who knows? 131 people own this figure, 8.67 average rating. Mostly 9s. So we go up and we look and we see she's a cute girl. So she is wearing kind of a fedora type hat. She has a dress which has lots of frillies on it. She is carrying a little purse. Once again, this is one of those figures that you're meant to display showing her back because she is looking over her shoulder at you. She does have a little stuffed horse accessory as well. She's got some kind of strange looking boots to me. And looks like she is wearing some pantyhose as well. So she has a ribbon tied around her wrist, and she has some nice shading in her hair, it looks like. The dress itself is feels kind of plain and flat to me. There is a lot of wrinkling to it, but just nothing to get super excited about. It does overall, it does have a general feel. I don't quote me on this, but I want to say kind of like flamenco type style to it. I know it's not that, but it's that type of thing to me. That's the feeling I get off of this. The hat is removable. I would suggest leaving it on because it does help hide the the seam line between her fringe and the rest of her hair. And she has decent sized breasts as well. She is a girl with a big happy girl smile. We do see the horse has a collar. Quality on the horse doesn't look the greatest, at least the paintwork. We do see her back is quite detailed, so you get the spine line and you get the shoulder blades, and it's got some good shading in there. There's a hint of a booty line in there. The purse is in the shape of a heart. And she's got a little ponytail with some long sideburns. And she has a little bit of cleavage peeking out. She is wearing a necklace with a little heart charm. And yeah. I mean, to me, she's a cute girl, but to me this figure doesn't look the greatest. Just doesn't do it for me. But it doesn't look like a horrible figure either. So if you like Tari Tari, or you like this character, this might be one that you could find and pay a decent price for or an expensive price. Depends on who you buy her from. So yeah. Let's see. We'll click that one for a face shot. We'll click that one for kind of a full body shot. And let's see. So her face, it turned out okay. We do see kind of a bit of like blush makeup lines painted onto her face. The mouth does look maybe a little messy, but remember we're zoomed in so far you would never ever see this level of detail. I mean, you can even see the crud on the camera lens. But it's a decent enough face. And overall, at least in this picture, yeah, I think she turned out decent enough. There is kind of a mold line right there, but probably won't notice that in real life. Oops, I closed the browser completely. That's okay, we can just open up a new one. So now we shall move on to Champ Huge Balls. Who has suggested Sistine Feebel from Rokudensai Majutsu Koshi no Akashic Records? However you say that. This is by Kadokawa and is a 1/7 scale figure. She did come out in March on March 26th of 2018, priced at 12,500 yen. So, one thing I have questioned about this figure and the other figure in the set is it's the only figures of the characters from the show so far that I know of. Why did they go for negligee to start off with right off the bat? I don't know. Maybe they just think sex sells, and they would not be wrong about that. So Sistine has a little kitty cat tail and some kitty cat ear accessories. She is not a little kitty cat girl, but they kind of treat her like one. So she is not a happy girl. She has an embarrassed, angry kind of look on her face. She has some striped shimipan on. She has some thigh-high stockings. And she has some negligee on. And she is on a fluffy, furry base. And there she is with Rumia as well. So they pose together. They're meant to be posed together. So if you buy one, you should buy them both. And they are in a very adult situation, if you want to put it there. But they do look decent enough together. This is not a set of figures for me. I'll say that right now. But they do look decent enough. So her face, as I said, she is not a happy girl. She is angry and embarrassed. There is a couple bows in her hair. And the hair is sculpted nicely enough. The shirt, dress, negligee stuff is, frilly and thin and hanging down and everything. She has some very prominent heels. And she does not have oversized breasts. She has, decent human-sized boobs for once. From this angle, the face does not look the greatest. And, yeah, she is definitely showing off the crotch and the panties. So, shimipan, it is tight. So you can see little stretch marks and everything. And it is kind of digging into her a little bit. Honestly, I've seen better figures, but it's not horrible. So if you like Sistine, this could be one that you would be interested in. There are no user pictures yet. So we can kind of look and see some Moyo pictures to kind of see details a bit more. And that looks like all we're going to find. So, right now there were some gaps. Figure companies typically do fix these types of gaps that are usually present in the prototypes. But it's something to kind of make you question if you're going to get her or not. She does have a sculpted clavicle and a little bit of cleavage showing. Paintwork at least looks decent enough. It is kind of matte colored, which isn't not a bad thing. Yeah, definitely an angry face. Looking at this now after doing the stream, it does remind me of the Shimikaze face that we saw earlier today. Which I never would have made the connection if we didn't cover Shimikaze earlier. So yeah, we do see that the tail goes up under the negligee, not into her butthole, so it is not one of those types of tails. Yeah, they go together. I think it would be hard to display them anywhere, though, with the way they're sprawled out like this. So yeah. Sistine, the show was fun. I enjoyed it. The figure, it's kind of meh. If you like it, you like it. So yeah. So we shall move on to a suggestion by Origami and Rexlock, who have stolen this from me. I would have done it myself, but they suggested it themselves. So we have Best Spirit Toka. Yes, Shadowgami Toka from Data Live. This is by Kadokawa and is a 1/7 scale figure. She is supposed to come out in September of 2018, priced at 13,800 yen. She just went up for pre-order today, and she will match perfectly with Kitty Kurumi. They're part of the set. Don't know if they're going to make origami or not, but this is the artwork that they are based off of. So yes, you got Kitty Kurumi, you got Toka eating her whatever it is she is eating, and then you got origami. We do see when we look at the figure that this part of the base is basically for Toka, so there isn't really room for origami on it. We'll see. But I will say this right now. I haven't ordered her yet, but I will, because Best Bear Toka. I'm just currently debating if I want to get Chachamaru and Elf from a previous Let's Browse episode. I mean, yeah, I can order, put in multiple orders, but I kind of want to hold up, just do it all at once. But yes, $1,600 in pre-orders already, so that's expensive. But I will order Toka. Don't worry about that. So we'll get her. So she is a little kitty cat girl, or at least dressed as one. So she is on a scratching post with a little platform for the kitty cats. She has some nice white, I think they're high heel shoes with a nice white ribbon. She is wearing some nice pink negligee, pink and white. And she is eating something. She is holding the package a little bit strangely, so her right hand is kind of in a cat paw shape, so it's not really gripping it, it's just pushing on it. I will say this, her face is a little strange looking. It doesn't... If I didn't know this was Toka, I may not be able to make the connection between the two. But it is what it is. The eyes are quite detailed. Maybe if they weren't quite as round, or maybe a little higher up on her head, or maybe her mouth was a little different shape. But either way, I am going to buy this one. The hair is quite detailed, and you got the little tufts in the kitty cat ears as well. There she is from the back. She's got quite a lot of hair, so not only is it hanging down from the sides, but it is in a big giant ponytail as well. And all the details in her dress, negligee, whatever it is, looks very good. Looks like there's shading in there. So one of my complaints with Kitty Kurumi was around the edges of some of the rufflies. It had a black trim line, and that wasn't painted the greatest. But Toka does not have that, so she will not have that issue. Her hair does look to be sculpted very, very nicely. Looks to be like there might be a little bit of shading. We'll see how she actually turns out. She does have a collar. And now that I think about it, yeah, I don't think Toka is known for having a giant bust. I was going to say they seem to have shrunk it, but I don't think she had a giant bust in the show. It's been a while since I've watched it, so I'm not sure. But yeah, she's got a, human-sized chest. So yeah, she's got some ears in there, hiding in her hair. And she is just quite cute. And she will go nicely with Kitty Kurumi. I hope that she comes with a special base that you can display them together with. But there's been no indication of that yet. So we'll see. And one thing I'm kind of noticing is if you look at the edge of her shoe, it looks like she might even have some toes showing, like the sculpting between the toes. Let's see if we can find a picture we can zoom in on her feet real good. Of course we don't. But yeah, it looks like we can even see her toes. So yeah, as I said, I will buy this one. And if you want, you can buy her from Good Smile Shop. She is typically more expensive there, but they do have the flat $20 shipping, or 2,000 yen shipping. And this is kind of, Good Smile is the official distributor, so it makes sense. Where's her price here? 14,904 yen. I'll be buying her from Ami Ami. And these are all just the same pictures. Except for this one, I don't think we saw her from this angle. So, yeah, from this angle, her face looks okay. And she is just so cute. So, yeah, I will be buying her. And then Rexlock had one more suggestion. And that suggestion is Elizabeth Bathory from Fate Extella. This one is by Funny Nights. The Sweet Room Dream version of her. 1/8 scale figure. She's supposed to come out in June of 2018. Priced at 12,800 yen. So I don't own anything by Funny Nights yet because Tamamo hasn't gotten here yet. She's supposed to release today. Or not today, but this month. Don't know if she'll be delayed or not. So once I get her, we can kind of judge what these figures are going to be like quality-wise. There's quite a few of them. But, yeah. So this is Elizabeth Bathory. And from what I've been told in the past, she's kind of a dragon. So she does have horns and she does have a tail. And she does have kind of claws on her hands. She is a flat-chested type girl, so not a whole lot going on in the chest area. She has some very, very fluorescent magenta hair. And she is not wearing pants. She does have some sandals on. And it kind of looks like she is wearing a swimsuit under that wet shirt. There's a promo gray prototype picture, so she has some nice eyes. Hair looks to be just a solid blinding magenta color. There doesn't appear to be any shading. It does match her finger claws quite nicely. The horns, never been the biggest fan of Elizabeth's horns. They are quite metallic looking. It's a strange shape in my opinion. But it does match what her design is. The shirt does appear to be a wet shirt. And if we look, we do kind of see some of the seam lines. Hopefully they do a better job on the wet t-shirt look than Kotobukiya did with Tamamo Lancer. Because that was just a fail shirt. But we do see like her bra and panties peeking through. Do we see her from the back? Do we see her from the back? We do see a booty shot, so yes, it is. I say bra and panties, but I'm pretty sure it's like a swimsuit. She has a long tail with some kind of looks like fins on the end, so maybe she's a water type dragon. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, nice pink underwear or swimsuit bottoms, I should say. And once again, the hair is very, very blinding and fluorescent looking. So, if you like Elizabeth, maybe you'll like this figure. It's not one for me, but it does. Quality-wise, it looks decent enough, at least to me, right now, from the prototype pictures. And I'm sure the hair will look, in real life, without the, blinding lights on it, the hair probably won't look as blinding. But it definitely makes her skin stand out a little bit more. And it makes her eyes stand out quite nicely as well. So yeah, it's kind of a devilish look on her face. And with the way she's got her fingers on her head, it's kind of like devil horns as well. So she's trying to be all evil while looking all cute and everything. So yeah, Elizabeth Bathory. So if you like her, you can buy her. Let's see. Looks like she went up recently. So yay. So I do believe that is all of our suggestions finally. Yes, there were quite a few suggestions this week, and they were all decent suggestions and safe for YouTube. So yeah, we'll go ahead and end this. Let's keep up the good stuff. You can suggest the risky figures if you so desire. We'll just keep that in a separate downloadable part instead of putting them up on YouTube. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. I'm out. Bye-bye.